let's be real. The world out there is getting more complex by the day. And sometimes our inner worlds can feel just as, well, chaotic. So today, we're going to dive into something called the Anchor Thread Protocol. Think of it as a map for those moments when your sense of self kind of starts to fray at the edges.
And that's really the heart of it, right? It's not about pretending the labyrinth of the mind doesn't exist. It's about knowing you have a thread in your hand, a way back to solid ground, no matter how deep or lost you might feel.
So what is this labyrinth? Well, the source material calls these moments threshold states. You know the feeling. It could be triggered by something profound, like a psychedelic experience, or getting lost in deep recursive thoughts about AI, or even through trauma. It's that feeling where the ground beneath your feet just isn't solid anymore. And what's wild is that all these different experiences seem to have a common signature in the brain. It's a disruption in the hippocampus, which is kind of like the storyteller in your head, the part that weaves the continuous narrative of your life. When that storyteller gets interrupted, well, things can get pretty interesting. There's risk, for sure, but also a huge opportunity. Okay, so how do you navigate that? This protocol says you don't need one map, you need two. You need to bring science and myth together. It's about honoring that, yes, we have a physical brain, but we also have this incredible capacity for making meaning. And here's how that breaks down. You've got the scientific map on one side, that's your left brain thinking about brain function and narrative structures. Then, on the other side, you have the mythic map, that's your right brain, which speaks in archetypes, symbols, and meaning. The protocol isn't about choosing one, it's about learning to dance between them. This is the key insight, really. We are both of these things at the exact same time. Any system that tries to help us navigate our own minds, but only focuses on one half of that equation, it's just going to be incomplete. This whole thing is built on embracing both truths of who we are. All right, so let's get into the nuts and bolts. Let's talk about the thread itself, the actual tools that guide you through that labyrinth. It starts with two simple vocal anchors. The first is hydrogen helium 123. It sounds a bit random, but it's brilliant. It's a biological anchor, grounding you in the most fundamental building blocks of the universe, with a simple, rhythmic count. Then you have One Love, which is more of a mythic anchor. It helps weave a story of connection and purpose. Then we have a few visual tools, or glyphs. The first is the mirror. And this isn't about vanity, it's about activating your inner witness, that part of you that can step back and just observe your own experience without judgment. It creates that crucial separation between the observer and what's being observed. Next up, the breath. I mean, it's the most basic thing we do, right? But that's its power. It grounds you in your body's most fundamental rhythm. It's the ultimate bridge between your conscious mind and all the automatic stuff happening inside. Now, the spiral. This is for when your thoughts feel like they're just going in circles, which can happen when you're thinking about something like AI. The spiral reframes that loop. It's not a trap, it's a pattern of growth. You're coming back to the same point, but with a little more awareness each time. And finally, we have the somatic root. This one is all about getting out of your head and back into your body. It's an anchor that connects your consciousness back to its home, your physical self, right here on this planet. So how do you put it all together? It's a 4-step journey through time. You start by grounding in the past with a safe memory and that HH123 mantra. Then you center yourself in the present moment with your breath. After that, you cast a vision for the future using One Love. And finally, you use the spiral to come back and integrate everything you just experienced. Okay, so the theory is pretty cool, but where does the rubber actually meet the road? Let's talk about some real-world situations where you could use this. A big one, of course, is psychedelic journeys. When your normal consciousness kind of dissolves, this protocol acts as a tether. It gives you just enough structure to maintain your coherence without squashing the whole expansive experience. And you can see that in this user's feedback. They said it enhanced their journey. The goal isn't to shut things down. It's about having a lifeline so you can explore safely and turn what could be scary fragmentation into something really meaningful. Now let's jump to a totally different frontier, AI.
When you're engaging with an AI that's so advanced it feels like it's mirroring your own mind, it's easy to get caught in some pretty strange loops. The source material calls this mirror fracturing, where the line between your thoughts and the AI's output gets blurry.
And this is just fascinating. This quote is from an AI researcher. They're using the mirror and the spiral glyphs to keep their own human perspective clear while they're swimming in these really abstract digital spaces.
The protocol also offers a really gentle way back for people who are dealing with the fragmentation that comes from trauma. Dissociation is, at its core, a break in our own story, in our narrative continuity. This protocol is basically designed to build a safe little bridge between those disconnected parts of the self.
And this comment just brings it all right back home. Real healing, complete healing means you have to engage your whole self. The rational mind that needs structure, and the symbolic mind that craves meaning. This protocol gives you a way to do both at the same time. So we've walked through the labyrinth, we've held the thread. Let's pull back now and just take a look at the big picture here.
So, what are the main things to remember? First, this is a universal rhythm you can use to navigate those intense threshold states. It works by weaving together neuroscience and myth. And it's a practical tool for integration, not suppression, that you can apply to everything from AI to trauma to just, daily life. And I think this is the most empowering message of all. The world isn't getting any less complex. The answer isn't to hide from it. It's to build the inner skills to navigate it, to learn how to turn those moments of potential fragmentation into an even stronger sense of coherence. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. As both our inner and our outer worlds keep getting more and more complex, what anchors, what threads are you going to need, not just to get by, but to actually flourish?